G'day guys and girls. My name is Darren and you can call me Daz. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Down Under Daz. Now today I'm going to be talking about something that I haven't spoken about before because this is something new in my life for the last 4 weeks. So a little bit about me. I'm turning 56 years of age next month in August. And I've had a trouble with my weight for at least 30 years now. My weight has been sort of up and down between 135 and 145 kilos for about the last 15 years. Now, 3 years ago I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and I've also had high blood pressure, hypertension for the last 25 years. Now, the doctor put me on some diabetes medication. I've been taking Janamet, 2,000 milligrams per day, and I've been on that for about the last 12 months. Before that, I was taking 1,000 milligrams per day of the Janamet. And I had some blood tests done about 5 weeks ago, and when I went back to the doctors and got the results, he said to me, look, going back over your bloods for the last few months, your sugar levels have still been quite high. It's been around 8 to 8.5, and this is causing you some kidney damage, which is something that you don't want to hear, because nobody wants to end up on dialysis or damaging their kidneys. So the doctor said to me, look, I've got a medication in mind for you, and it involves having an injection in your stomach once a week. Now, as soon as I heard that, I thought, wow, this is getting really quite serious, and I was pretty worried about the idea of going to the doctors each week and having someone put a needle in my stomach. I wasn't too impressed with that idea. But he explained to me that the medication he wanted to put me on was Ozempic, and that simply there was a plastic pen, and it had a very small needle point on the end of it, and I could dial the amount of medication, and just one day a week, just once a week, just a little, very small needle, tiny, about as big as the nib on a pen or a biro, and but skinny. And he said, it's no problem at all, you can do it yourself, and the medication will last you for 4 weeks. So I thought, well, okay, if you think it's needed, then, you know, I certainly want to do whatever it takes to keep myself going a bit longer. So anyway, he prescribed me the Ozempic, and it's quite a interesting medication. So firstly, you get the Ozempic pen, and inside here, I've used it 4 times now, so there's not a lot of medication left. The clear liquid here, there's not a lot of that left now. You can see that grey bar pushing the medication through. What would be this here is where you screw on a new tip each time that you give yourself a dose. And my box came with 6 tips. I've used 4 already, and as you can see, I've got 2 tips left. So the tips are just sealed with a little little paper seal on top in a plastic container. And once you peel that paper off, you just screw the needle tip onto the pen. So I'm here to tell you about my experiences with it, side effects, what the results have been so far, and what my verdict is on completing my first month on Ozempic. So Firstly, when I started out the very first night, and it's hard when you know that you're going to be injecting yourself. This is something I've never done before, and nerves, can sort of get the better of you. You might feel, oh, this is strange, maybe someone else should do it for me. But I did what the doctor said. I just grabbed a little roll of fat, just off to the side. It's got to be at least 2 inches away from your belly button. And I inserted it expecting to feel some pain and didn't feel anything whatsoever. And the doctor did say, and so did the pharmacist who gave me the medication, that where you're injecting it, you're mainly injecting it through just a little bit of skin and fat, and there's not generally any nerves in that area, and you're not likely to get any blood coming out either. So it was all in the mind, worried about having this needle because it's absolutely nothing. I've now done it 4 times, and so receiving the dose of it is nothing to be afraid of. So I started off with the first 2 weeks. I gave myself a dose of 0.25. You'll probably see on there, but it says on there it's on 0 at the moment. So you can just dial this to the dose that your doctor prescribed. So my doctor prescribed me to 2 weeks of 0.25 and then 2 weeks of 0.5, just stepping it up. So I've done 2 weeks of 0.25 and 2 weeks of 0.5, and I still have enough medication in there probably for one more 0.5. So I'll probably end up getting 5 weeks off this particular pen. Now, cost and availability. Now, we're very lucky here in Australia because the government subsidises most of our medications, and although this is not one of the medications that can be bought with your Medicare card for $7, I was told it was going to cost a lot more, but it ended up only being, and I think it's written on the box here, $30.60. I think you can probably see that, $30.60 there at the bottom. And, for a 1 month supply, well, that's fine, I don't mind that. I was surprised to find out that in places like the United States, it can cost over $1,000 a month. One person said it was around $1,200 US a month. Now, that must be very difficult on people because I asked asked the pharmacist here what was the full price of this in Australia if you weren't an Australian citizen or anything like that, and it was around about $120 to $130. Now, apparently in the United States, Australian dollars, it costs around $1,500 to $1,600 per pen per month. So I really feel for our American friends. So, right, so what's happened? Now I've started taking Ozempic. Well, the very first night, didn't notice anything different whatsoever. There was no pain, there was no rash, anything that you think might happen, itchiness, no redness, no swelling, nothing like that whatsoever. And at the site where it was injected, I couldn't even see where I'd even done it. There wasn't even a little dot of blood to even show you where I'd even inserted it. Now, what I did notice was that the next day, that when I went to the toilet to do a number 2, suddenly it started to get soft bowel movements. So wasn't like having diarrhea, and it wasn't like having the runs where you had to keep running to the toilet, but when you went to the toilet, it was much softer than normal. Now, the next thing I noticed was that I was urinating much less frequently than I had been before that. And to give you an example, last night, after my 4th dose, which I had last night, so I've only been, really just over 3 weeks on this, and I've had 4 doses. So what I noticed was that I would normally get up in the night at least twice to go to the toilet for a pee, and Now, last night I went to bed just after 10 p.m. and I woke up at 5:20 this morning just to let the cat inside. And I realised that I hadn't got up at all, not once in the night to go to the toilet. So I've gone from 2, maybe 3 times per night, getting up and going for a pee, where now I can sleep right through the night. I would say I could probably go from 10:30 at night till probably 7:30 in the morning without needing to go at all. So that's been good, and I've noticed that the colour of my urine is lighter than it's ever been. So instead of it being a darker colour, like a dark yellow or almost bordering on orange, almost like a beer sort of colour, it's now quite light in colour. It looks, it's not much darker than, say, water. So that tells me that my kidneys are probably not working anywhere near as hard as they used to work. And I'm also getting a much better night's sleep, which is a godsend. So now, a couple of negatives that I've noticed, or differences. Now, they're not necessarily negatives. One is that my sense of taste has changed. Not to the stage where I don't enjoy my food. It's a bit different to that. Food still tastes exactly the same, except the flavours are now stronger. I've now got like a heightened sense of taste, which I didn't have before. Now, I first noticed it after about 1 week, maybe 5, 6, 7 days. So maybe at the end of my first week, or maybe when I had done my second dose. And what I noticed was, for example, my wife and I went to KFC for some lunch, and I had some chicken nuggets. They were included in a pack that we bought. And these chicken nuggets had an intense taste. They were the most chickeny flavoured things I'd ever tasted. And my wife tried one and she said they're completely normal, but to me they had a very strong chicken taste. And then I had some of the French fries, the chips, and they tasted extremely salty. Now in Australia we use chicken salt, a seasoned type of salt. And normally I would say that the fries there are normally salted and seasoned, or maybe a little bit underdone. These ones taste incredibly salty. Almost to the point I was enjoying it, but I almost wasn't enjoying it because it was a little bit too strong. My wife tried the chips and she said they're absolutely fine. In fact, maybe they have less salt than they would normally have on them. So I started to notice that flavours of foods that I was eating was intensifying. Now, is that a bad thing or a good thing? Well, to be honest, a lot of my foods are tasting better than they've ever tasted. I had some strawberry yogurt the other day, and it had this beautiful strawberry taste. And instead of tasting like fresh strawberries, the strawberries tasted so good, it was almost like I was eating artificial candy strawberries. So it was just really quite a nice taste. And I had a banana the other day that tasted like an artificial banana instead of a real banana, because the banana taste was so strong, it was like it couldn't be a natural product. And it was just a normally grown, Queensland banana. So, so I've got a heightened sense of taste. But the one drawback with that is if you're eating food with a lot of spices and chili in it, the chili will be hotter than it used to be. So I often cook buttered chicken for the family, and one of the family favourites, and I've been making it for 20 odd years. And when I made it the other day and tasted it, suddenly the spices in that tasted like there was twice as much chili in there as normal. The pepper tastes more peppery. The tomato tastes more tomatoey. And something strange is that milk and cream has a different taste. Doesn't spoil having a cup of tea or coffee or something like that. But if you were to drink milk in a glass, it now has a stronger taste, and it tastes like you were drinking buttermilk. Or it tastes like there's something a little bit, tastes slightly more bitter, hard to explain, like someone's put a little bit of salt in your milk or something like that. So I've had a heightened sense of taste, but not to the point where it's making food taste bad. It's actually probably making food taste even better. But Another strange side effect has come along with that. So although I'm really enjoying my food, probably enjoying it more than I've ever tried it, I'm getting full very quick and my appetite is being suppressed. So every night when it's time to eat dinner, I don't really feel like it. I feel like I'd rather have a slice of bread and butter or a bowl of soup or something like that. I don't feel like I want to sit down and eat a roast dinner, or a Chinese dish with rice or something like that. I just don't really fancy it. I want to eat less food, and I have been. So that leads me on to the next thing that's happened. One good, one bad. Okay, so one is that it might be because I'm eating a little bit of less food, not eating much less food, and I haven't really changed my diet in any way, but I have noticed the weight loss, and the weight has been dropping away. So it's only been just over 3 weeks, although I've had my 4th dose of medication. I'm only it's only been just over 3 weeks that I've been on this medication. Now my weight has dropped. I had been losing a little bit of weight through dieting before the Ozempic, and I'd managed to get my weight down to 131 kilos, which is the lowest I'd been since probably before COVID. So about 5 years. And anyway, that was through dieting on a shake diet. Well, I completely went off that and been eating normal foods, and I expected my weight to go up. Well, what I've noticed is that my weight for the last 3 or 4 weeks has been coming down and coming down quite quickly. My weight this morning when I got on the scales was 127.7 kilos. So I've come down 3.3 kilos in 3 weeks. So you could say I'm losing a kilogram a week at the moment, which is not normal. It's not something that I would be able to achieve without starving myself, modifying my diet, or if I had the flu for a couple of weeks and was sick, I could expect to lose 2 kilos, but not eating a normal diet. And I'm still eating some sweets, naughty, and desserts. I'm eating pizza, or I'm eating fried foods, and eating some. I have been eating some good portions, but to lose a kilogram a week unexpectedly is unusual. Now, one bad side effect, which is probably the most annoying thing out of everything, is that I've and I haven't had this for many years, but I've started getting indigestion, heartburn. Now, I only get this at night, and I get it after I've been laying down for a couple of hours. So I used to get heartburn and indigestion when I was young, probably from, maybe from the age of 16 to 25. It was quite common for me to have heartburn, maybe because of all the junk I was eating. Now, I haven't had that for a good 20, 30 years, probably a good 30 odd years. I haven't really had heartburn problems. Since I've been taking the medication, within the first week, I was laying in bed and I woke up at about 2 o'clock in the morning and I had terrible heartburn, and I had to get up and take a couple of Rennie tablets. Took one, started to feel a little bit of relief, took a second one, and about 10 minutes later it was gone. But I noticed that the heartburn had been so bad that the next day I felt internally like I was a bit burnt inside. If you got sunburn on your skin and you touch it and it's sensitive, well, I felt like the acid, the reflux inside had burnt me inside. Now, that has gotten better with time, although I did have a tiny bit of discomfort last night. I would say I've probably had heartburn about 5 or 6 nights in the last 3 weeks, so twice a week. And it's getting milder and milder, where now I don't even need to take anything for my heartburn. So I do put that down to the medication because I haven't had it for 30 years. I was in my mid-20s was probably about the last time I used to get heartburn at night. Now, I don't get any indigestion or heartburn during the day whatsoever. But I do believe that this heartburn is from the medication, and it's getting better with time. And I hope that it either fades away or, becomes much more minor than what it is, because to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and have heartburn. It's hard to, to get back to sleep because you're feeling the discomfort. Now, so the weight loss has been great. The side effects haven't been bad. Probably the heartburn is the worst part of it. Now, one more problem I had with the medication was the doctor said that when he gave it to me, don't be surprised if you find it a little bit difficult to get hold of. So I actually ended up going to 5 chemists, pharmacies, before I could actually get the prescription filled. And I went to the 2 local ones here, and they, as soon as I showed them the prescription, said, haven't got it, haven't had it for several months. We've placed orders for it. As soon as it comes in, it's gone off the shelf again. And they said, the pharmacist actually said to me, the lady said to me, maybe think twice about starting it. And I said, why is that? And she says, because even if you get a prescription now and we're able to fill it, you may not be able to find one next month or the month after, which means that there might be a break in your medication. And I said, well, is there a problem with going off it, or, withdrawal? And she said, no, but she said, it'd be nice to know that once you start it, you can continue on with it. Now, it was suggested to me that the main problem with getting hold of Ozempic if you're a diabetic is that it's being bought up, in Australia anyway, by people who are using it for weight loss. And they're buying the, not so much the smaller pens with the low dosage, they're buying the ones with a bigger dosage because they're out for weight loss. And some people were saying that Ozempic could be worth $300 to $500 for one prescription, around gymnasiums and places like that, because people are desperate to get hold of it. Even my 2 daughters, when they heard that I was starting Ozempic, got excited and they said, oh, Dad, can we get some of that? Because we heard it's fantastic for losing weight. And I said, well, yeah, it might be, but there are diabetics out there who need it, and that's what it was originally designed for. So I'm going to see the doctor again tomorrow because he only gave me a 1-month prescription to give it a try. I'm going to quickly, because I need to find it by next Monday, another prescription, or maybe I can just get one more dose, the 0.5 milligrams out of this. But after that, I'm going to be without the medication, and I'm going to have to try and find it somewhere. Although I'm told that if you ring around or check online, you generally can find it. But it was chemist number 5 that I went to actually had some in stock, and they were a very big chemist, but in an out of the way area where most people from the city probably weren't going to buy their meds. So anyway, so far my review of it is it seems to be working. The reduced frequency of urination, the clear coloured urine, the weight loss, and the overall good feeling that I'm getting, I think it's doing great. Also, by the way, I did a blood test this morning, and it was 6.8, down from I think the last one was 8.2, and the doctor said I'd been averaging about 8.5 over the last 3 months before I started this. So the figure we'd like to get to, the doctor said, is 6 or under. So to be at 6.8, coming down from 8 to 8.5, is a phenomenal improvement in just a few weeks. So I'm going to continue with it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a monthly update. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, and if you could also give this video a like, and every month I will come on and do an update and tell you where I'm at, what my weight's at, what my blood sugar's at, any side effects, any problems, and let you know how I'm going. And I would love to hear your experience, or if you've just been prescribed Ozempic, and if you have any concerns or worries about it. One more thing before I go, I'm just going to say that something strange is that I am losing weight, and I was hoping to lose it off my stomach because I've got a very big belly here. And I think the first place I'm losing weight is actually off my face. Now, you're probably going to hear about Ozempic face, and that's a bit worrying, that is concerning, because I've heard that people that are on Ozempic can end up with like a really sunk in, drawn in face. But these are people who are usually taking it for weight loss. They've lost a lot of weight and quickly, and now they're looking quite gaunt and drawn in the face. Now, I said to my girls the night I started on this, I said, I want you to do me a favor. If at any stage you look at me and you notice that my face is changing too much, it's not just weight loss, but I'm looking really gaunt and drawn in, you'd have warned me straight away and I will go off the medication because I don't want to end up like that. But funny thing is, I used to have, a month ago, 3 good rolls of fat under my chin. I used to say that I had more chins than a Chinese telephone directory. But now I've only really got 1. And it's actually, if I pinch that, it's not a lot of thickness to it. Now that would have been 3 of those. So I'm losing a lot of weight off the face already. For me, that's fine. I've got a big face like the moon, and I don't mind losing this. And I am actually losing weight in the tummy as well, because I've had to drill 2 more holes on my belt, because I found when I'm walking around, my pants are starting to fall down on the last hole. Now, and I'd already drilled a hole in my belt when I got down to 131 kilos, because I had shrunk a fair bit. And I've noticed that in the size of the shorts that I'm wearing, I was a 44, I got down to a 42, and today I'm wearing a size 40 inch, men's 40 inch. And I was in a supermarket, department store the other day, and they were clearing out summer clothes because it's winter here in Australia. And I saw a pair of shorts and they were a size 38 inch. And I haven't been size 38 since I was probably about 23 years of age. You know, so that's, half my life ago, or more than half my life ago. And I tried them on and they fitted. I could actually get into a size 38 down from a size 44. And I'm talking about in a little bit of weight loss I did myself, and then Ozempic for a few weeks. So probably in the last 5 weeks, I've been able to come down 44, 42, 40, 30, 4. I've come down 3 sizes in shorts. So things are looking good. I'm feeling good. I'm coping with it. I'm not frightened of injecting myself anymore. And I'm looking forward now to the rest of my journey on Ozempic. And anyway, hope I haven't talked your ears off. Hope I haven't turned you off taking it. It does seem to be a fantastic product. It's probably very expensive because it probably is a very great product. And yep, I'm optimistic about it. Anyway, as it says on the back, don't forget, keep it in the refrigerator, and love to hear your thoughts. Okay, guys and girls, thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you again soon. Okay, bye.